Yeah, and so Marcelo Bielsa wasn't out at the training at this time, so it was warm up. So it starts directly, and then we did some drills and training stuff, and I think after half an hour, so he was on the pitch. Half an hour later, he comes to me and say, "Yeah, welcome." So this was the first word he said to me, and the only word in this training. So it was special from the beginning, and needs the time. You get used to the training. Even my first Murderball was, I think, on my second day here.
What was that like?
And I thought, what I'm doing here.
This is the official Leeds United podcast.
Should we talk about the game?
Yeah. Let's do this.
Enthralling watch.
Hey, listen.
Don't all sound too keen, will you?
Pat, listen. It can't always be glitz and glamour. It can't always be high octane, high energy, high pressing, excitement. What you have to realise is they turned us over at their place. We made the game so boring and so crap for them that they weren't able to get what they thought they'll be able to get with it. And looking at the games prior to that one as well, mate, it was phenomenal. If you looked at those three fixtures back to back to back, in the lead up to it, I was thinking to myself, there's a good, strong possibility we might only end up with 4 points here. You know, but you like what I did there? I'm just waiting for a moment.
See what you did there.
Yeah, appreciative. But
I'll laugh at you.
Like to walk away from those 3 games, and they're very, very difficult games. Let's be honest. With 5 points, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a phenomenal achievement.
It's a great achievement.
No, they're your socks, mate.
You look at all of
it. I'm not in there with you. I'm on one now. You got me started.
I don't know where he is. You look at all of April, right? We're back in September, and you look at, before we knew Sheffield United were going to be as terrible as they were this year. This whole month would have been, the month of death.
Tricky.
I wasn't sure just how many. If we get any points in April, never mind to get 8. And go undefeated throughout the whole month. I mean, fantastic. And it's not, the ironic thing about this is that at the start of the year, everyone was saying Leeds were naive. Oh, it doesn't matter how good you look if you lose. And now everyone's saying, oh, what an ugly, boring game to watch. It's like, well, it didn't matter because we got the point and we're undefeated.
We got the result. Yeah, exactly.
So
I tell you what, though, playing in it, like I know I said in Enthralling Watch, like sarcastically, like when I was playing in it, I didn't think. Like, you didn't think, oh, this game's like a dead match, like nothing's going to happen. Because it felt like you had to be switched on the whole time, and it was a slog. Like, it was hard work, and obviously they had a couple of chances, and we had a few half chances. But it wasn't until after the game when my mates texted me saying, oh, that was the deadest game to watch.
Cheers,
I was thinking, right. I was like, oh, well, I'll tell you what, it was bloody hard to play in. So it was a well-earned point.
All Leeds, aren't we? The official Leeds United podcast.
Patrick, you've been cheating on us, haven't you?
Yep. I admire your honesty.
Tell us where you've been.
Fair enough.
Tell us what you've been doing, Patrick, or don't you want to fess up?
I thought you just said we're going to play it. I thought I was waiting for Dave to play it.
No, you're going to tell us.
You're going to tell us who you've been cheating on.
Oh, okay, right. So I got invited to go on the Peter Crouch podcast. Yeah, which obviously it was actually quite a big deal because I like listening to that one.
Oh, you actually listen to that one, do you?
As opposed to what? Yeah, I know. Do you not listen to this one, Patrick?
No, but in lockdown, when like there was only like a few other decent podcasts going around during the lockdown time, Peter Crouch was the one to go to, not Matty's and Jermaine's. Unbelievable.
Ooh. How are we after that?
Painful.
Lads?
That was like a shot to the gut. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cheers.
No, you said nothing but good things about you on there.
I've said nothing but good things this last couple of weeks, Pat.
Swings and roundabouts. I just had to build. I'm building up to the good stuff. But no,
did you have fun?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. If you asked me what we talked about, I honestly couldn't tell you because it just kind of went off in different directions. But hopefully, it'll be a decent episode.
Yeah, my question for the Leeds boys is, would you rather fight one Cliff Richard-sized duck or 5 duck-sized Cliff Richards in tennis clothes?
in tennis clothes.
I mean, so many questions.
It's got to be the 5 duck-sized Cliff Richards in tennis
No,
clothes.
that's
It's got
mad.
to be.
That's
Yeah,
mad.
I know it is.
Ducks.
I know it is, but
The ducks aren't small.
Cliff Richard-sized duck? Are you joking
That would be
me?
really intimidating. Yeah,
Oh,
because it'd be
exactly.
so big.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
5 little Cliff Richards. That's terrifying.
You just pop a little box over the top of them, and that's it. Job done.
Oh no.
Yeah,
No,
but
'cause
the
you,
problem
you
with
know
the
they're in
little
there.
ones, yeah, and you don't know where they are. If they escape, there's 5 of them you've got to find. I suppose if you've got one big Cliff Richard-sized duck, you know where it is at all times,
Yeah.
Easy.
even if it is
I'll-
overbearing.
They're all
Easy,
singing
I'll climb
mistletoe
the
and
stairs.
wine coming at you with tennis
I'll
rackets.
climb
Awful.
a load of stairs. They couldn't climb a staircase. All good.
Wait, why Cliff Richard though? Was he a bit of a hard nose?
Famously, yeah, famously, Cliff Richard was nails.
Absolutely, exactly what
I've just
you're
looked
thinking.
at him on. I've looked at him on Google to see how tall he is. He's only 179.
Yeah, I don't think he was renowned for being a hard nut, was he?
But
Cliff
just
Richard.
imagine,
You know,
just imagine a duck being that big. I'm
Yeah.
not messing
Yeah.
around with a duck that's
'Cause the
that
beak-
size. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No
think
way.
Yeah,
you're
the beak would be
underestimating how
pretty big,
frightening
wouldn't it?
Cliff Richard is.
I
Go
thought
watch
you were
the-
underestimating how frightening a massive Cliff Richard-sized duck is. I'll take
Well,
the tennis clothes all day long.
let's think about it. A duck is what, like that big? So it'd be 5 Cliff Richards that
Yeah.
size in tennis clothes. I feel like that would be, because they're in tennis clothes, there's
Kickable.
something like a little less
It's going to haunt my
intimidating.
dreams, Emma. It's
And a
horrible.
massive Cliff Richard sized duck isn't.
No,
Exactly.
I'm all right with that because it's not
How?
Cliff Richard.
It's a
It will
duck.
swallow you whole, you madman.
But ducks are, I'm sorry. You go buy a
Yeah.
Cliff Richard calendar, right, this Christmas, right, and you go through all 12 months of that, and you'll know what I mean. You won't want 5 of them knocking about.
Show us yours.
yeah.
Listening on together.
Your English sounds like it's going to be pretty good. Have you been all right talking to all the rest of the players? Does anyone speak German in the squad?
Yeah, 2 players. So Mateusz Klich and Gianni Alioski speaks perfectly German.
wow.
So for me, it's easy to speak with them. Yeah, and I'm learning a bit English every day. So yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better.
Robin, do you learn the most English? Do you learn more English when you're just playing and going about your day, or do you learn from actually being taught it?
Yeah, so at the moment it's hard to go out for dinner or meet some people in the city. So for me, I would say I learn more English with in the training. So when I talk to all our players and the staff. So at the moment this is the only thing. And of course the Leeds podcast now, where I can
That was nice.
talk a little bit English.
That was a nice touch.
Who have you found?
It's like in a coffee now. Huh? When I get a coffee now, and this is my new place to be to get my English skills a bit
Oh
better.
God, don't learn
I
English
would be
from us.
taking English lessons off Bex.
Yeah, not from Jermaine Beckford.
Come off it. Come on. That is harsh. Robin, who have you found the most difficult person to understand in terms of the English or what they say from the squad?
So one of the player in the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to understand when they're talking to each other. So when they're talking to me, I think they maybe use easier words, or they're not too fast. They don't speak too fast, so it's easier for me when they speak only with me.
Yeah.
But some players, when they talk to each other with a little bit of slang, then it's hard to understand for me. But I'm all right. Yeah, it's okay.
What's Pat's German like?
Pat's
Yeah.
German.
Sehr
it's
good.
Now, so
So
I think
cool.
I didn't hear one German word from him until now. But
Look at his face.
so my translator is hopefully ready.
I am.
He sounded so nervous. I am.
Yeah.
I am.
There was zero conviction. What's it been like getting bedded into life here? You're obviously here under weird circumstances.
Yeah, so my first weeks here, when I arrived, the restaurants were open, coffees, and so it was really nice to see. I lived in a hotel this time, and some friends come over for a couple of days, and nearly, I think, my first 2 months, I lived in a hotel and was nearly every day a friend over here. So it was good to go to restaurant and see some nice places here around. So I like the city very much, but of course at the moment it's better. But the last month for me, even with my injury, was a lot of time at home, and you couldn't go out for dinner or for lunch. So hopefully, maybe next season, we can go out with some boys and get a dinner and maybe a small party.
See what the city's like. Yeah,
That's what he cares
I like
about.
that. I like that.
Dinner,
You see the
irrelevant, just the
focus. The
party.
focus is on going out parties.
I'm sure Pat. No. I'm sure Pat will show me some nice places around here.
How have you managed to keep your spirits up mentally? You got injured relatively early on, and I think a lot of people would probably not have expected to even see you for the rest of the season. But you've been able to come back the last few weeks and play some fantastic roles in some great results. When you've been in lockdown and not been able to go anywhere, see anyone, how have you managed to just keep so upbeat and been able to come back as strong as you have?
Yeah, of course, it was not an easy time for me when you're new to a new country, and then with the lockdown, and at this time was not possible to get some friends or my family over, or maybe in normal times I can go home for 1 or 2 weeks and do some physio stuff at the beginning there, because at the beginning you can only do treatment, a little bit of movement from the knee, but all this wasn't possible at the moment. But so I had always the day when I'm back in training, back in the games in my mind. So this was my target, to come back as fast as possible, to work every day till I'm back, and with the focus on my comeback. Was not easy for me, but I think this is the best way to get over this time.
Has anyone explained to you what it's going to be like when the fans get back into Elland Road? Have they given you an idea of that?
Yeah, of course. They say it's crazy, but I think you have to see it by yourself. So I can't wait for playing in front of all the fans here, the full stadium, and So in my first weeks, also when you walk to the city and so many people come to you and it's nice to have you here, and I thought, how many fans are here in the city? So I thought maybe, okay, is there anywhere like in the city? Is there
somewhere quiet?
Was like after a game, so where all the fans are in the city? But I think it's normal here that everyone is Leeds fan, and so I get a feeling of how or what a big part the fans play in this club, and I think it's even more when you play in the stadium, of course, with all the fans.
What have you,
Patrick? How would you describe the packed out Elland Road to Robin?
exactly
well, when
that.
it's loud, when it's loud, you can't hear a thing. Like the one that always sticks out for me is, remember when we played? I think we beat West Brom 4-1 in the first season under Marcelo.
Yeah.
And Pablo scored after was it a minute or something?
Very early goal.
And it was just mad. I couldn't even hear the person 10 yards away from me. So, it can be crazy.
Is it going to be nice when you can pretend that Marcelo shouting "run" is being drowned out, and you're like, "I can't hear you, Gaffer. Sorry, what?"
Yeah.
I think that might be one of the things I'm looking forward to most.
And so Marcelo Bielsa wasn't out at the training at this time, so it was warm up, so it starts directly, and then we did some drills and training stuff, and I think after half an hour, so he was on the pitch, half an hour later he comes to me and say, welcome. So this was the first word he said to me, and the only word in this training, so it was special from the beginning, and needs the time you get used to the training. Even my first Murderball was, I think, on my second day here.
Ooh. What was that like?
And I thought, what the fuck I'm doing? Back to Germany, but after a time you get used to it, and It's good now.
Patrick, can you translate that, please?
I don't think I need to say anything there.
I think that's what
he
most
summed it up
people think.
perfectly.
So, you're playing against Liverpool on opening day, and there's this frankly ridiculous handball decision that they've now since changed the ruling on that. Are you able to just let that go, or does that frustrate you that your debut for Leeds, you've had a decision like that which was frankly ridiculous against you, or are you able to just go, no, that's done, forget about it?
So basically, were you annoyed with the handball, or
Yeah,
did you
of
let
course
it go?
it's done now. But during my injury, I watched a lot of game at home, of course, because I couldn't walk at the beginning, and then you see some different situations like this, and it's no penalty because they change rules, and of course then you think, okay, better change it half a year before, then everything's fine. But it's done. So of course when you see the similar situations, you think about it, but I'm not sitting here every day and think, this day in Liverpool.
Yeah.
So,
Because I still do that. I still think about it every day.
I was going to say.
This is the official Leeds United podcast.